You are significant. You have seeds of greatness inside of you. You are not on accident. You are on purpose. You are here for a very divine, special purpose. And we are going to talk in this podcast about evidence that you are significant. So school is coming to a beginning, summer is coming to an end. What do you do when change is triggering you? This is an important topic to talk about as things are changing, and whether we like it or not, it may feel like the middle of summer and like summer has just gotten going, and now here we are. We're already back to being up early, taking the kids to school, lunches having to be packed, dropping them off by a certain time, or them catching the bus. If you work in the school system, you're having to teach, you're having to get on your bus again and drive to pick up children. Whew, it's a lot. It's a lot. And on top of the market crash that just happened. And sometimes we want to just pull the covers back up over our head, real high and tight, and pretend like the world is the same. Nothing is happening over here. La 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 la. Just put our fingers in our ears and ignore it all, right? And these kind of things are very triggering because we can't stop the world. We can't avoid change. We can't help that the powers that be have decided to start school August the 1st. It's not September, Labor Day anymore, like when we were kids. Now our children and our grandchildren start school August 1st. They just get a couple of months of summer, and here we are. And on top of the fact that the market decided to crash like it did. So what do we do when we're this triggered, when these kind of things come up? Do we just go grab the biggest spoon we can find and start eating ice cream? Do we light up another something to smoke? Do we go shopping online or to our favorite strip mall and start loading up the cart with all the things and getting that dopamine rush that we so desperately need just to manage the triggers? Or is there something else that we can do? Welcome to this episode of You Are Significant. If you are finding this podcast helpful, please subscribe and write a review. It could be a 1 or 2 sentence review, and that will help more people to see this podcast and be able to enjoy it and receive the love and the benefits and the change just like you have. So what can we do? I want to talk about 4 things that have helped me and others that I've coached to deal with these kind of triggers. And we know that this is just one of the times a year that we face these kind of triggers, right? It's 90 days until the holidays start. And I know you're like, stop, I can't handle it. Don't even talk about the holidays. I'm trying to get through school starting. I feel you, friend. I completely feel you. So these are going to benefit you now and when change is happening again. We need these kind of skills all through the year because there's the holidays and then we start settling back in, but it is cold, it is winter, and that can be a dreary time of year that's hard all on its own. And then the spring comes. Spring is my favorite. I know a lot of people say fall is their favorite. I love spring because it's like a rebirth of the earth. Everything is being new. And there's such a buzz in the air. I think the earth has dopamine. So it's just a beautiful time of year. If there's a time of year that's better than them all, I think it's the spring. But that's just me. Let me know in the comments, DM me, and let me know what your favorite season is. I do love to hear from you. And whatever season is your favorite, I'm still going to love you. I still love you. So, and then the kids getting out of school again. So it all cycles back around, right? There's going to be change. There's going to be triggers. And that isn't even to mention your own personal life and things that can happen, like a boyfriend or girlfriend breakup for yourself or your child, like maybe divorce, maybe just some marriage problems where your spouse comes home one day, like mine did, and says, I'm not happy. And now what do we do? And so you can have your own personal seasons in your own life where there are triggers. And so it's so important to have these skills. And let's talk about number one. Number one is give yourself permission to just stop. Sometimes the world, it feels like, is pushing you from behind, kind of like when you're going upstairs and maybe somebody is literally behind you on the stairs, pushing your bottom up the stairs. And you're like, stop. I'm taking these at my own pace. I will get there. Just let me do it. But sometimes you have to set a boundary, and it's good for you to set a boundary and just say, stop. I'm going to stop. I'm going to take 15 minutes and I'm going to just stop. I'm not going to just keep on in this rush. I'm not going to check social media. I'm not going to check email. I'm not going to check the news. I'm just going to be me. I'm just going to exist for 15 minutes. And in that way, you are exercising some control, which makes you feel good, which alleviates anxiety, and it prevents the need for you to go act out in your other behaviors that aren't as healthy. So giving yourself permission. You are an adult. You can give yourself permission to say, you know what? I'm just going to stop. And you can add on to that. When you stop, you could go outside and put your feet in the dirt, put your feet on the grass, put your feet on the sand. And it's called grounding. I'm sure by now you've heard of grounding. So you can ground yourself, and it literally, you have electrons moving inside of your body, inside of your cells, and your body needs you to regulate your nervous system. And if you go ground yourself, your nervous system into the earth like that, it gives those electrons somewhere to go and something to move into so that it's not just rushing all around your body. So there's real scientific fact to grounding. It's not just something someone made up to have something to talk about as a way to feel better. There's real science behind it. So stop is number one. Number two, breathe. This is my favorite. Breathe. So you can do the four-sided breath. It's called that, but it's actually 4-2-4-2. So you can breathe in for 4, hold it for 2, breathe out for 4, and hold it for 2. Repeat, breathe in, breathe out. And you can learn to do this feather light so that you can do it anytime. You don't have to be so loud. If you've done yoga before, we're taught to like let the air rush through our nose, coming and going, and it's kind of loud breathing. But you can learn to just breathe in normally where it's feather light. A feather under your nose wouldn't even move. And you're getting that breath in, and it is calming your nervous system down. This is huge. You can use this technique anytime you want. Anytime that you're starting to feel triggered, you're sitting in a meeting, they keep coming at you with information. Maybe you are the college student listening to this call. Maybe you're a newlywed, you don't have kids yet, you're working, you're still adjusting to being married. And there's a lot of triggers when you first get married. A lot of my friends are newlyweds and getting married, and you're still learning how to love yourself and your own identity. And now you have been paired up, joined, the scriptural word is joined, with someone else. And believe me, their nervous system is affecting your nervous system. One of the things I've learned is that when my husband is triggered and he's struggling to deal with life, me breathing is not just for me, it's for him also. I can do the 4-sided breath, especially if we're laying in bed together, sitting next to each other on the couch. If we're touching, his nervous system is tied to mine. It already is anyway, energetically. I don't have to be in the same room with him for this to work. But when you are physically touching an arm or holding hands, it doesn't have to be sexual. You're just touching, and your energy is looping through both of your bodies, especially if you held both hands. Your energy is completely circulating through both of you. And you can 4-sided breath, and it will help regulate not only you, but your partner, your husband. You could do this with your child too. Which if you have a child that's upset, it might be hard for them to let you hold both their hands, but you can just think of them, and instead of yelling at them or trying to argue with them, you can just say, you know what, I'm going to stop. Mom needs 15 minutes. Dad needs 15 minutes. And then let's come back to this. And you follow through so that there's trust. And this is something you can practice. The third thing is pray. And these are not in order of importance, obviously, but you can also pray. You can stop and breathe and pray. And when you do that and you bring God into it, your higher power into it, then you are getting outside of yourself, and you are acknowledging step 1 in the 12 steps. I am powerless. I can't do this by myself. I do need help. And you're letting your higher power, you're letting God come in and take control. And this is so beautiful because the Holy Spirit is real, and he is moving, and he does love you. He does care about you, and he will give you wisdom if you stop, pray, breathe, and listen. And so these are so beautiful that you can use them separately or together. And then reconvene yourself. I put that as the 4th thing to do, because sometimes as codependents, when we get the relief and we've walked away, it takes a lot of courage to go back in to where you were and expect better, expect different. And my coach today was actually reminding me that a normal, healthy life does not mean always feeling good and positive and no negative energy. A life is 50-50. And so if we understand that and we believe that life is 50-50, 50 good, 50 not so good, 50 happy, 50 sad. Excuse me, it's 50-50. Life is 50-50. So if you are having ups and downs, If you are feeling stressed and a little anxious or even a lot anxious from the changes right now, you are normal. You are in the 50-50. And just having acceptance, just taking that breath, and as you breathe in acceptance. Hold that for 2 and breathe out through your nose. Breathe in and think acceptance. Breathe out. We wrap this episode up. I want to encourage you to give yourself grace, give yourself compassion. When you do find yourself in anxiety, in fear, in just being stressed out, feeling angry even, that all this stuff is happening fast and all at once and maybe even too soon. Just stop, breathe, pray, and then reconvene. I love you, friends. Thank you for listening to You Are Significant. Please leave us a review. Please leave comments, give us a like, and share this out. We appreciate you here on You Are Significant, and I cannot wait till next time to spend time with you.